Ooh. Let me see. Let me know, Tim, if that works. Can you hear me now? 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 I think you should. I had the microphone on, but I don't think it was connected for some reason. But anyway, so I was saying that I was gonna make broccoli cheddar soup today, and then it started to snow. And I'm not one of those people who likes to go to do like a Walmart grocery delivery order type of thing. I'm just not that person. And the snow is pretty. It's sticking. So I decided to derail, and we're just gonna do vegetable stir fry. So I have some frozen veggies. I'm gonna quick blanch these, and then I'm gonna do some salmon and some shrimp with them. For this Meatless Monday, we're not gonna have a carb. We're just gonna stick with those things. And yeah, so we're gonna pivot. That's what our lunch and probably our dinner is gonna be for today. So, just gonna do something simple. And for all of you that are new here, I do Meatless Mondays because I am a diabetic, and so it is an easy way for me to incorporate a lot of veggies, take out the unnecessary carbs, and to retrain myself to understand that you can get proteins through other sources other than just meat. So our protein source today is going to be a lot of vegetables, and it's going to be seafood. I don't think of seafood as meat because it's not something I primarily eat all the time. But for today's purposes, it's going to suffice. So we are going to use... Oh, something spilled on this. Or did it spill on this? Frozen shrimp and salmon. And we want to be as cost efficient as possible. So I don't usually like to store seafood in the refrigerator if I don't have to. So I'll try to just use as much as I need when I need it. Lower the camera, so close your eyes if you're watching. We're just going to quickly defrost our shrimp and our salmon. And I like the salmon packets because when it comes down to these are wild caught, and it's hard to find fresh wild caught salmon in the Midwest unless I go all the way up north and get some. So I am a Midwesterner. I do live in the city, and so sometimes it can be very difficult to find fresh, wild-caught salmon or salmon, however you like to pronounce it. I'm just quickly blanching my vegetables to knock the ice off of them. So I'll turn you this way. I actually have a gimbal, and the camera's on a gimbal, but for some strange reason it was like really freaking out this morning, so I really don't feel comfortable turning it on and kind of making you all dizzy, if you will. So I'm just quickly defrosting the vegetables just so they can have a little bite to them. it is possible to still get a little bit of a crunch, not much of a crunch, from a frozen vegetable. All you want to do is take it and place it in a colander or a strainer inside some hot water, and you literally want to just knock the ice off. Not sure what that is, but we're not going to use this salmon. I think we're not going to have salmon today, guys. Or not at least those pieces. Let's see. It's hot. Okay. So we're just going to pour this water out because you don't need it anymore. Set the pot over to the side. And I'm going to use my wok to saute my veggies. I'm going to go ahead. They are straining. So here, I'll put this here so you can see it. They are straining. I'm going to dry it off as much as possible. And this is just some olive oil. I'm not going to do any teriyaki sauce or anything because that's just going to spike our sugar, which is what we're trying to prevent. We want to kind of keep it within range. If you are, you know, a diabetic or you have any health issues, you know, trying to keep away from as much sugar. The whole point of Mondays are to just be a little bit more health conscious. So I know we've just come off the weekend. Everybody is pretty much went out, done all their things, entertained themselves, had a ball. So now it's trying to kind of like hone back in. And so oftentimes, sometimes you don't have access to fresh vegetables. That's fine. If you don't have fresh, the next best is always frozen. So that's the reason why I'm going to go ahead and use these. I will typically keep me some mixed vegetables or just individual vegetables in the freezer for Mondays, days like today's, where I can just literally defrost them, saute them up, and have them with either them by themselves or them as with a additional non-protein protein, which is like mushrooms or seafood, you know, all that. So Mondays are my day that I reset and allow myself to eat better, especially after probably eating a lot of junk over the weekend. So my veggies are dry, they're not dripping, and I am gonna pour this in away from myself. And the great thing about this is they're vegetables, so they don't really take long at all to eat or to cook. I'm sorry, not to eat, to cook. I'm just going to simply season them with my favorite seasonings. Something very simple. I'm not even going to use soy sauce today. I'm just going to use garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper. Well, this is like the Nature's seasoning blend. This is like my favorite seasoning salt, if you will, and a little crushed red pepper. We're just going to keep it simple. I had a really heavy weekend. We went out. We had dinner at Chili's. We had game night. So with some friends. And then yesterday I made chicken pot pie. So I want to kind of lay off all of the like unnecessary salt, and today is one of those days. So if you're not able to be conscious every day about what you eat, at least pick one day, and for me, that's Monday. So just lightly seasoning it, and again, let me, while this is doing its thing, get you all closer. Close your eyes. There you are. the salmon packets that I like to get. They're from Aldi's, or I believe they also have these at Trader Joe's. They're wild caught salmon, and they're my favorite. They're already individually portioned. I don't know what's on the other one. I'm not gonna have them though. So just while that is sauteing, I'm gonna go ahead and defrost 2 more packets. Even though they say you're not supposed to cook these defrosted, we don't really listen to all the rules. We make up our own as we go. And all it pretty much is individually wrapped salmon in 3-ounce portions, which is the perfect portion size. And they're frozen. Keeps me from having to vacuum seal fish. And again, I live in the Midwest. Sometimes it's very hard to get fresh, wild caught seafood here. A lot of our like shrimp and crab legs, they're already frozen, fresh frozen or flash frozen. And so yeah, so this is all we're gonna do for our vegetables. We're gonna remove it from the heat and we're gonna cook our seafood directly in this pan, except for our salmon. We're gonna put our salmon in the cast iron. So let me remove those veggies. They're vegetables, so they don't take long to cook at all. In fact, they probably are a little bit too long because I was talking and doing something else. Just want to give them a little like crunch. So not a very heavy meal type of a day, a very light meal type of a day. Every day doesn't have to be, a heavy meal day. If we're being completely honest, every meal day shouldn't be a heavy meal day. We're going to turn this off and we're going to come over to the sink and we're going to prep our salmon. Our shrimp. So close your eyes as I turn the camera around. If you all could see me, I'm gonna lift you up a little bit or lower you a little bit. There you go. And so in the same strainer, because again, waste not, want not. We're not trying to waste any dishes. I had a colander. We'll just use a paper plate. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep our salmon in the water and we're just gonna peel our shrimp. So this is deveined shrimp, but it's not peeled. And we're just gonna peel us up a couple of pieces, and this will last me. I'll probably have 1 piece of salmon and a couple shrimp with the veggies. No carbs. Again, we're not having carbs today for lunch and for dinner. And I'll put the other portion up to the side for dinner, and I'll have that roughly around no later than 5:30, between 5:30 and 6:30. and snack time being at 7. So again, we are trying to be mindful of like what we're eating on today, how much we're eating, at least one day of mindfulness. If you can't do it every day doesn't permit it. It's understandable, but some days you can. So making sure we got it all out. Now, if you want, you can save your skin of your shrimp to make you some shrimp stock. So I do believe that I am gonna save these because I plan on making gumbo. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the skins in a Ziploc bag. And I'm gonna go ahead, you can label the bag if you want, but I know what it is. So I'm just gonna pop these into the Ziploc bag, roll the air out, and put them on the door. So I usually have like scraps for like bones of chicken and beef and all those things on the door, and I'll just save it for later. And so when I make gumbo with you guys, well, next time I'll make sure to do it with you all on live. I figured out a way that I don't have to do it and like brown the flour like immediately, so that saves a bunch of time. So we're just gonna go back over to the stove. That should be the last time we have to actually pop over to the sink, if I could be honest. Get my butter out. So close your eyes one last time and then we should be fine after that. I'll let you know when to open them if this bothers you, the movement bothers you in any way. Okay, you can open. So now we're back at the sink. The stove. We're at the wok. We're gonna put our heat on like between the 4 and the 3. If you have numbers on your stove, that will be medium exactly. And we're just gonna toss in a little bit of olive oil, just a smidget, and some butter. The butter that I like to use is Smart Balance. I don't like the taste of butter. I'm not a butter person. This has no effect on me whatsoever, but if you're a person who has like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, I would say switching to a plant-based butter is probably best. So, just gonna let that sizzle, melt down. The best thing about the paper plate is all the liquid has drained off, so you don't really have to worry about much sizzling. We're going to go in with just a few dry herbs. That was onion powder, garlic powder, and I'm not going to use the Morton's Nature Seasoning. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Slap Your Mama. I like Cajun, I like spicy seafood, and so we're not gonna go in heavy because again we're being conscious of our salt today, and of course a little crushed red flakes, red pepper flakes. I am going to squeeze some lemon on our salmon and our shrimp. I'm using that same plate as my cutting board, literal same plate, because this is just going to be used for fish. And I'm not going to use it again after I've cooked the seafood, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay. I got me a little seed in there. I had a lemon juicer, not sure where it went, but it's okay. We can use our hand. So now while that's cooking and it's on medium low, so you can just toss them back and forth, it gives you some room to kind of be able to do some other things. So now in our skillet, I forgot I was making salmon. I don't know why I put back my butter. I'm gonna need it for that. Close your eyes one more time. I wonder, is there a tripod out there with wheels? Because if there isn't, I'm going to invent one. Because I'm sure movie productions have them. But for somebody like me. And I'm sorry if that's making anybody dizzy. I do apologize ahead of time. I'm still learning. But as I'm learning, you're learning with me. It's okay. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to throw some olive oil in our cast iron. And I'm a cast iron girly. I like stainless steel, but iron to me is just what's best. So if you're like iron deficient in any way, like you could always go ahead and switch out your actual like cooking supplies, because some of the iron will actually infuse in your food and making it more iron enriched. I'm not sure if you all knew that, but something my grandmother used to always say. She grew up with cast iron, so my mom grew up using cast iron, and so that's why I am kind of like biased to it in a sense. Just from generational use. And nobody in my family really has iron deficiencies too much that I knew of. They're not on like any iron supplements or anything. And plus, the coating does come off those ceramic things, so I think this may be ceramic. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Not sure though, but don't quote me. I'm not sure on this, the wok, but I know this is cast iron. So as that's heating up, we're gonna pat our salmon dry because again it is wet. So we're gonna use that same paper plate. And again, I'm cooking for me. If that bothers you, do what you will. But I'm telling you, if you don't have to waste all of the stuff, don't do it. Like if you had a cutting board, you can use that too. But for the most part. And it's still going to be frozen. I mean, it's still going to be wet because the salmon is still frozen. So, but we just want the extra water out of it if we can. Let's see. Skin side down first. You can go ahead and turn off your shrimp. The residual heat will cook it. Just flip it on the other side. And we are going to go ahead and season this side. Ooh. And we're going to do our Stop Your Mama. All that water's coming out of there. Why isn't it coming off? I hate fish skin. If you're one of those people who like fish skin, oh boy, I can't stand it. I'm more of a fillet or like a steak person. I'm not a bronzino, let's go to the restaurant and order a whole fish type of person. So I definitely would not eat fish skin. Let's see which way is the, I'm trying to put it in frame. So how I would plate it is more than half the plate, and this is a dinner, like a dinner bowl. So more than half the plate should be definitely vegetables, because again, today is our heavy vegetable day. And then I'm just gonna take about half of the shrimp and put on the side. So these were like medium sized shrimp, so about 6 of them. The other half will be for dinner, which I'm just gonna put in a container for later. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more veggie. Okay. And so this is the container I'm gonna use for later, so that I'm conscious. If I do it now, I know that I'll eat it later. Like, there's no excuses. I can easily pop this in the microwave and eat this later. It's sticking. I guess this is why people like non-stick, huh? I'm gonna season that side. Again, it's gonna fall apart. It was frozen fish. It's not gonna hold form. There's water in it, and that's okay. It was frozen. A little slap your mama, garlic and onion powder. And we're gonna go in with our lemon and a little bit of water, just a little bit of water. And you're gonna kind of steam it the rest of the way. Here we have a little butter. We're going to reduce our heat down to 2. And you're just going to take your lemon I got a seed in there. Hold on. Did it again. I'm just gonna go in with a smidge of the water, not much, just a little bit. Remember, this is gonna help it from sticking even more, and it's gonna help the inside cook. I'm trying to find the lid. Sorry. And you're just gonna let it finish off cooking. While it cooks, again, we like to clean up over here. So we literally clean as we cook. So I'm gonna bring you back over to the sink, close your eyes, and we're gonna clean up our space as that finishes. So as it gets done, we can be done over here. And so again, we have our 2 portions already put out to the side. We're just gonna clean up our counter area, put away all of our dishes. If you all have any questions, drop them in the chat. Let me know what you think. I know I could use some improvement. Let me know ways I could improve. If you know of any equipment out there that would help, let me know. I just saw on, what was it? Amazon. They have a multi-device tripod, which I've been seeing, but you know, if you don't know what to look for, you don't know what to get. So just kind of cook as a plate. As a personal chef, when I go into people's homes, they actually like get a kick out of the fact that sometimes the food will be on the stove cooking, and I'm over at the sink washing dishes, or if they've given me permission to use their dishwasher, they're like, is she really cleaning up as she cooks and she's not waiting? Like, absolutely not. Less stress, the better. I also found that doing meatless Mondays actually keeps me very aware for a couple of days. So like I'll even be a little bit more conscious of Tuesdays, because I'm like, I did so good yesterday. I don't want to go back on like all the work that I put in. So sometimes I'll even find myself, like last week, I found myself eating those quiches on Tuesday, and I had enough like for the entire week. I had my last one this morning. And so we'll have to prep some more breakfast quiches, or I was thinking about doing some black bean patties to have sometimes on my meatless days. So black bean breakfast sandwiches with some eggs, and I use bread thins. I don't eat with just regular bread sometimes. And if I do, I try to do like Ezekiel bread or sourdough bread. And that way I can have like the entire slice instead of just like one slice and having either a half of a sandwich or an open face sandwich, because 2 slices of bread are considered 2 portions. So, not sure if anyone's read the back. But yeah. And it was so cute. I went outside today and got some snow. for the kid to play in. And so this was his little snow bucket. And I don't know why I'm washing it, because I know we're going to play in it again when I get off before nap time. But since it's already in the sink with soap, might as well clean it up, clean it up, clean it up. Now let's check our salmon, because I can kind of hear it, the sizzling, phasing out a little bit. So I'm not sure if that's no liquid or if it's done. Okay. Going back to the stove, so eyes closed, please. Oh yeah, it's done. Alrighty. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I'm just gonna use a fork. Oh yeah, look at that. It's white, so it's kind of, in a technical term, is overcooked because the white is coming out. But we're at home. We're enjoying our own personal food. We're not worried about any of the sticklers. We're just gonna go ahead, turn the heat off. Put our one portion there. Put our other portion here. So now you have double protein and double vegetables. No, little to no carbs. The carbs will probably come from like the beans, the carrots. We have some what is this, water chestnuts in there, which are still kind of crunchy too. So we're just gonna go ahead and give this a little taste. Again, I like hot sauce on everything. Doesn't mean it's not good. It's just my own personal preference. So of course I'm gonna throw some hot sauce on it. I'm gonna taste it first with you all, but then I'm gonna add some hot sauce. So let's give it a try. Let's see what we got here. And while this is still hot, I'm gonna show you a little trick. I'm gonna put some water in there. Because it's cast iron. A drop of dish soap. Ooh, that was hot. And we're just gonna put this back on top and let it heat up, and it'll clean out. The same could go for this too. I think this has a, yeah, let's do it for this one. Just so you don't have to, you know, scrape it too much. The best thing about a wok is you could actually deep fry some chicken in it, and it does amazing. So if you, the next time I fry chicken, I know I used my Dutch oven the last time, but you could fry some really mean chicken in there. So look at that. And it's gonna release itself. You could just turn it back off and let it sit while you eat. And the same goes for this one. Oh, I forgot the soap. Add a little drop of soap to it. Let the heat do the work for you. And never leave water in your cast iron skillets for too long because it's iron. Don't want it to rust. So you want to wash it immediately if you can. So let's go ahead and try our food. So you are tilted, I'm sorry. Come down a little bit. So we got our salmon. Got our shrimp. Oh, wow. That is really good. Got our shrimp. A bit of that Cajun in there. And vegetables still have bite to them, so Everything is really good. I'm going to go ahead, clean this up, and I'll catch y'all on the next Meatless Monday. Let me know what you all want to see. If you have any ideas or recipes at home that you yourself indulge in for Meatless Monday, submit them, share them. You know, I don't think that's a problem. There's a community tab on the page, and I'll go ahead and I'll post this to my website for my blog. And I'm going to my lunch, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.